All right, folks, we are close to the conclusion of group stage, and the one group we really have yet to figure out is Group B. This is one of 4 sets that will happen today to close out the group stage. 3 of those sets are in Group B. ACCM is here playing his final round. He's currently top of the group with 9 wins. I'm catching up to live time. Sorry for the speed. He's favored to get first. He's favored in the series. But Margougou, he has this set against ACCM, and then he also has the set against Dogao. And so potentially Margougou, 6 wins possible. Margougou could maybe find his way into playoffs. It seems like it's very unlikely that Margougou would be relegated because he's currently tied with Draken. But Draken has a series later today. And Margougou is the underdog in both of his sets. So, I mean, it depends how you come in, how you look at it. Let's just say sky's the limit for Margougou, where he could maybe make a run towards playoffs. Or, you know, it could obviously still be relegated. So, he's hoping to get results here. ACCM and Margougou, first game here, they are fighting over the cow and the sheep. They are just chilling here. And Margougou is like, you will not take this cow. You will not take this sheep. And ACCM... This is hilarious. ACCM he's wondering if Margougou is paying attention. Margougou is absolutely paying attention. And Margougou got an extra hit there. And ACCM also is like, here, come hit me. Then I'll be on the hill, and then I'll be on top in the fight. This is so funny how this meta has started. This happened in another series as well. Oh, God, and now the hits are even. According to this, though, it's worse for Margougou, and now it is worse for Margougou. So now ACCM, oh, he's definitely going to have the edge in the great cow and sheep war of 2023. And now Margougou wants to kill the cow because he can't have the cow, or ACCM wants to. Okay, cow's dead. And ACCM gets away with the sheep. All right, well, that was interesting. Now, I mean, there's lots of other things we need to talk about, right? When you're doing that, you're not necessarily scouting the proper dock positions. Like, look, where are the shorefish for you, Margougou? He didn't scout this. This is the perfect dock spot. But he now, because of not having scouting, is actually not going to have kind of an awkward dock. ACCM, he ends up benefiting. He has the stronger scout. He's going home with an extra 100 food. And then he gets the dock position on the shorefish. So really smooth start for him. So, you know, Margougou's got this crazy, aggressive, nerdy energy. There he goes. He finds his dock spot. But that necessarily... It wasn't the cleanest thing for his start. I think the Chinese start could have been a bit smoother here. You do start with no food, so it's kind of awkward to get things rolling with the Chinese. Is the shorefish position not fixed? It's not fixed. No, even the water position's not fixed, right? It's always going to be double stack. You just have to look for it. And he just had missed it by a tile. But he found it. And he's got loom already. Villagers should be fine. ACCM, speaking of fixed... If you know where the water is, you should have an idea, and the berries are, you should have an idea of where your player's TC is. It's not exactly fixed. It's a little bit awkward. So yeah, Malians, I think great for this map because of the cheaper wood buildings, and you just are going to be building a lot of buildings. Just the whole way through the game, there's bonuses that flow for the Malians. Chinese, I mean, it's hard to really think... negative thoughts when playing as the Chinese if you can get the food. And right now, Margougou not really able to get the food. You can see he's on berries here. He would have benefited so much from that one cow. Now he pushes in that deer, but he is desperate to click up here, guys. This is rough. It's a risky play on maps where you don't have food. So we've seen Chinese on Land Madness dominate because you have the berries underneath the TC. We've seen Chinese on even graveyards where it's more traditional resource location, similar to Arabia. So that means a slightly slower start for Margougou than he would want. Still is ahead in eco. ACCM, I think there's an opportunity here. You don't have to walk far, and you can just dock this. And he's either doing that or he's going to build up the barracks here on the hill. I think barracks or dock could make sense, but I see 2 villagers on gold, so I think ACCM is going to sneak that villager over towards the pond. Now, even more of a reason that you can do this is because of the scout conflict. Because a fast feudal scout now, it's weak. It doesn't kill that villager. Especially against the Chinese, where you know they're going to be hoping to hold on to any food eco they can. This is really smart move from ACCM. And yesterday, when we saw that crazy series between Barles and Andy, Barrels knew there was a possibility when he was up against a good civ for it, and he checked it. And he actually held on a bit. I don't think Margougou is going to be checking it. Here he's building up a barracks. There he's making a mill. Margougou wants to go scouts. He will have the food eco here, but he will be exposed. And the downside, obviously, for ACCM, having played it like this, is that he doesn't have his barracks up by the time he's in feudal. Again, apologies. There is a weed whacker in my neighborhood. If you do end up hearing it, I apologize. Margougou is now checking this. Yep, he's now checking this. Unfortunately for him, he's a little late to the party here. And of course, any ships you make here, like even if you win water, you can't use those ships then against the opponent's fish. ACCM's got to travel quite a distance to get to this fish. It's very loud for me. But my microphone does a pretty decent job at canceling out audio in the background. So it's just distracting. So I had to talk about it. Margougou knows about this. What else does Margougou know? Margougou knows ACCM made a barracks. ACCM walling a lot here. Playing extremely safe. He is the favorite. I don't know. Did he see his opponents made scouts here? Wow, that scouting is so good. He knows about it, which would explain the walls and the spearmen. But he's not taking any risks to take the deer and the berries then. Feels like these two villagers could maybe be exposed as well. They were on the shorefish earlier. And they're going to come in and, yeah, just take the two berry bushes there. So, I mean, in terms of res collected, it's got to be fairly close at this point. I'm going to show you here in a moment. Margougou's actually added spears with his fires here, which I really like. That's a really intelligent way of dealing with this. Because depending on where you're standing, you are going to get hit by those spearmen there. Here, the scout from Margougou is attacking the fishing ships. ACCM doesn't have any navy there. And, you know, as long as Margougou starts to transition in towards some farms in combination with the berries and the deer, I think he's going to be okay. He does have, like, 5 villagers here, which is something. And I just want to check res collected here. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Like, the Chinese player, they haven't lost villagers. That's really the key. And the only real weak point for Margougou was just that period of idle time. What is surprising to me, as ACCM isn't sure if there's a demo in that dock or not, so he seems really scared. What is surprising to me is that Margougou actually made a mining camp on his gold. A lot of players are going to do this. It does look like his gold is slightly further away, maybe, though. That is actually something that was pointed out to us as we see a demo coming in here from ACCM. Boom! Worth it! Kills the fishing ship, the villager, and the fire. Boom. 7-2 KD for ACCM. But there's something that was pointed out to us when we brought the script in. It was from another tourney. And we did push out a change to try and fix it. It was apparently really tricky. I don't know more than that, but I do know that that could have influenced the mining camp. I don't know. I can't really... I still feel like I'd want a mining camp here, though, now that I think about it. Maybe on the other side. All right, well... ACCM hasn't lost any eco. He's killed 2 eco from his opponent. It could kill more than that if he continues to move in with his fires here. Still, I don't hate Margougou's position. I think what really is going to bother him, though, is that he's got scouts and he can't do any damage with it. Now, he's going to have time to wall up, right? But essentially, ACCM has said... You get no chance to fight me in feudal age. None whatsoever. I'm the favorite, and I'm going to play safe, and I will just not take damage from you. And that's sometimes what the best players do. They take a slight lead in feudal, right? Which, I mean, the eco KD is now 4-0. I killed all those fishing ships. And then in Castle Age, they take an even bigger lead. A scout's still out there for ACCM as well. Not really moving around. Spearman's out there too. We'll see what he does with it. Really curious to see where these guys end up town centering. Because I think the most important thing on this map is the expansion. Like this, for example, this gold, this isn't a good area for Margougou or ACCM. This area here. There's always a little circle in the terrain. So you should know if you see 2 berries, there's going to be stone and gold there in the circle too. Like that's a good spot. Over here, that's a good spot. ACCM hasn't scouted that yet. Margougou also hasn't really scouted his, but he does see the gold. He's pretty close by all this, so... Could that have led to a re if it had been a concern by Margougou early on? No, because the map's been like this for the entire tournament. It's just like a slight thing. Like, there's so many like big things to pay attention to, obviously, on this map. It's like a slight thing in my mind. Stone mining for ACCM. Huh. Well, it's even weirder is he made the mining camp and then sent the villager back to a farm. So that's him saying, I need a mining camp maybe to get my gold upgrade. But I don't want the mining camp here. That is really interesting. The scouts still looking for damage. Margougou will be walled at home. The only area Margougou's exposed is here. And I think when he sees his opponents in Castle Age, he needs to leave this area. There's no, like, you've already gained resources from this. Your resources collected is going to be fine. It's not that big a deal. You're Chinese. Just don't leave these villagers exposed would be my thinking. I like how ACCM added some fishing ships here. Every little worker can be so helpful. ACCM must have added a couple scouts. And he's now building the TC in a really nice area. Sees Margougou, needs the quick walls. First game of the series, gets the quick walls. A little risky there. Oh, and the palisade's actually gone down. I think he's actually going to be kind of okay, though, because of the positioning of the villagers, and he knows it, too. Margougou's like, give me a snipe. And Margougou going to get 2 villagers there. Very well played. It should be a second villager kill. Great awareness from Margougou. A little sloppy based on the high standards we have from ACCM. And where does Margougou TC? Ooh. Whoa. Double TC behind his walls. Still has left the villagers here. I mean, he's going to make camels. But that is going to be interesting to talk about, right? Because this makes a lot of sense. That's a lot of gold. There's only 400 gold there for Margougou. Now, there is the stone inside your walls, but it really felt like, you know, maybe this would have been the proper position. If he's got the TC at home and then the TC here, it'd be very similar to ACCM. That is a pretty big difference to talk about right now. ACCM going for light cap and husbandry. So he's going to play this arena style. Hope to stop his opponent from getting relics and expanding. But he's not really going for a lot of knights. He did obviously make that one knight we just saw a moment ago. It's very weak. This game will go late, guys. This game will definitely go late. And right now, I prefer ACCM's position with his locations of TCs. But hard to argue with the Chinese if they can get a massive food and wood eco rolling. I could see a lot of different army comps in Margougou's future, but if he's hoping to rely on gold, he just won't have it for the longest period of time. Here, Light Cav went in. 2 of them died to the camels. The one is very weak. Here, Margougou attacking. ACCM will drop walls. Guys, wins are so important here. If ACCM wins this group, he goes directly to the quarterfinals, which means he's in separate areas, at least initially, from like Viper, from, well, it's Viper, Hera, and then Yo, right? If he somehow loses games here and then Dogao overtakes him possibly, or the small chance Margougou does, if that exists, then ACCM's got to go into a round of 12. We've got some big names in the round of 12. We've got Doubt, Tato, who are actually facing each other. But I think realistically he would be facing someone like Andy or Barles if he were to fall into a playoff spot. Margougou is hoping to get into said playoff spot to play Andy or Barles. So again, needs wins here today. And that includes this series and then the next one. Well, it actually won't be the next one. The third one today where he will play Dogao. Both players top 24 in TTL. Obviously to be here in Platinum. Both players playing amazing. And we have a pause. But it definitely feels like Margougou. This is weird. It feels very lag-based. It was weird how the pause happened. I don't really know how to describe it. Hopefully they are okay and able to run things. But look at the res collected. You can see that, funnily enough, ACCM has actually collected less gold. But he's done a good job with the food and wood. Obviously, he has the gold accessible here. Game over. Okay, so we must have had a drop, and they're going to have to restore this then. Very unfortunate, but things happen. Hopefully no one's internet fully disconnected and we don't have to wait too long. One thing to note before we restore, though, is the mining camp there from Margougou. That is him realizing, oh crap, really needed that gold, and perhaps that things hadn't gone quite according to plan here. All right, folks, so the game did not drop. Well, I mean, they didn't drop, but for whatever reason, DE just decided to say, hey, there's no game anymore. So we're back, and I'm going to go 2 times speed to live time, all right? And here comes Margougou. We just bought the stone to build a TC here. This is the area of importance we talked about. He needs to protect this and make sure even this is blocked off. But yeah, hopefully things are fine. You can see some vulnerabilities right now for Margougou, but he's done okay. He actually just killed some fishing ships there from ACCM. And he should maybe patrol this area to stop ACCM from dropping a TC. And that's exactly where Margougou is going. And Margougou is going to kill all of these villagers. And this is very Margougou good for our blue player, which is just the worst joke I've ever made in my life. But what a find for Margougou. Evens out the vill count and also disrupts ACCM's positioning. ACCM also being attacked here. So this can give you a lot of control in other areas if you're Margougou. He's got to be really happy with that. And you can see the thinking was just like, okay, I've secured my gold. He's over here. What about the other side? In the end, ACCM is going to stabilize here. He has the monks here to convert away. And also, ACCM got into the back with Lightcap. We are still catching up. I'm sorry. It is. Please do not be upset with me. This is just DE things. They never dropped once. It just kicked me out at some point. Probably because of the jokes. I don't know. All right, now this is interesting. And it actually reminds me of Margougou in some other games where he's staying in Castle Age instead of going Imp and going for lots of pikemen. And he's going to kill some of the monks here from ACCM. He's moving forward with pikemen. And it feels to me like he wants to drop a castle here. Things are kind of split up for him right now. ACCM can sense the castles coming up. Things happening faster to players than for us. Or, sorry, faster for us than the actual players. And ACCM could see this the whole way through. And he now drops the castle and clicks up to the Imperial Age. But you know, like, there's a big balance issue for Margougou right now. He pulled villagers off of gold to build that castle. Now he's, like, dropping a lumber camp here. He's now going to drop the castle here. These villagers are super exposed on the gold. And Margougou is going to use the market and click up to Imp. So, like, I can see what he was trying to do. I can see what he was thinking there, but great job from ACCM. And I feel like the pikemen don't feel too natural, at least for the time being, for Margougou, who drops even another TC over here. 2 relics for ACCM. He's got his 2 gold areas locked down. He's got tons on stone, so he'll be making more castles. He does run into some of the army there from Margougou, but he knows about Margougou's castle. And he's in the Imperial Age first. And he is going to bring in a trebuchet to start to treb down that castle from Margougou. And then just like, here the pikes will maybe find a good fight against some camels. But will Margougou be able to hold this middle area? Feels like the pikemen they offer so little right now to Margougou because he's up against castles and trebs. He is going to apparently try and go Chukunu as well, which would mean he needs these castles. So it's kind of a double whammy here for Margougou if he loses this position. Apparently, we're still not caught up to live time, so it's still going 2 times speed. But I love ACCM's control right now. Little vulnerable here. This castle looks like we just hit live time. This castle's important. Margougou checking is going to see it. Could deny that. Feels like he needs to deny that now because he doesn't know he's getting raided back here. And he will definitely take losses here in the middle. We've got hand cannons from Margougou on the pikes. That'll be perfect for him. But Margougou will deny this castle. ACCM needs to get army over there. He's actually getting Tigui here. A really nice technology where your TCs will fire arrows even if they're not garrisoned. So that can help against some of the raids. And I think Margougou has an army comp problem right now. This is the area he's going to have to push and expand to. Because I don't know. Like, he's got a bunch of cav in queue. So I guess maybe he's thinking light cav and halves. But I don't think it's going to be an easy time for him if he continues to lose this position, which he will lose. building this castle was because he felt like he could maybe contest the area. Hindsight, of course, tells us maybe he would have wanted to build the castle elsewhere. And ACCM actually just going to finish this castle, which means even that castle for Margougou doesn't really click. ACCM with 2 relics, ACCM with really nice army comp, and ACCM takes out that castle. So it's just been the build up towards Imp that's the problem for Margougou. And that is like, that is what I would say has been Margougou's issue as a player ever since he's reached people's top 50. Feudal Age, Castle Age is fine. It's like late Castle Age, early Imp. I played him a lot myself. These days, I die in Castle Age to him. If it's going towards Imp, where are your castles? What is your army comp? What's your late game position? Those are all the things that Margougou can struggle with. There's a hole here which could give Margougou some potential. Those light cav are going to get in. That's not going to be easy for ACCM to deal with. He doesn't have any military buildings back here. ACCM continues to push here, though. Also has some light cav of his own raiding from this side. It's a very messy game. ACCM realizes this. Does have camels coming over. The camels should deal with the light cav, but a nice raid from Margougou. Unfortunately, still, it's like, how are you going to deal with the Trebs? He doesn't really have that answer. And ACCM has found his way into Margougou's base. And ACCM's got more farmers. He's got more on gold. He's got more scouting on the map. He's got control everywhere. His army composition's really tough to stop right now. And then he's got the Trebs. This is an interesting little push from Margougou, though. Margougou's even attacking with Vills there on that house. Honestly, maybe ACCM could use a castle in this back corner. It's not really what you want to do, but... Actually, no, he just drops the TC. The TC, I guess, could help. And cannons still have not been dealt with. The army comp for Margougou still just Halb and light cav here. And the Trebs continue to push forward. Feels like a very natural spot for another castle for ACCM. Who just completes the Farimba upgrade. So he'll have +5 attack. On top of the +1 he already had on his light cav. And TC still kind of protecting things. And still kind of protecting things here. There's the castle from ACCM. I think Margougou's in big trouble. Actually queued up petards in his castle. I mean, Margougou's population isn't bad. The problem more so is, where are you collecting resources? Not collecting gold here. Not going to be able to collect gold here. Doesn't have any relics. Doesn't have the gold in the middle. Right? ACCM's just got much greater control over the map with castles and town centers. Margougou will take the Trebs. But he does so after losing a couple castles to those trebuchets. It just feels like maybe ACCM, who's even got more trebuchets here against this castle, feels like maybe he's just 1 or 2 moments removed from winning the game. You expect Margougou to fight. He does have the Halbs as an answer to the light cav, but he's still going to be chasing a lot. And over here is kind of an interesting situation, but another castle just targeted immediately by ACCM versus Margougou here. ACCM's got the perfect castle setup. This castle denied, though. But all the other castles, this is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect. And that means more gold control, right? More gold control. His base is defended at home for the most part. Margougou is going to break in through here. But even guard tower for ACCM to defend this area. So this army's pretty useless. And I'm sure Margougou realizes now the end is probably near if he hadn't felt that already. So, the game was fairly even. And then Margougou said, let's go pike push into a forward castle. And that didn't work out. And the early Imperial Age momentum from ACCM just snowballed so hard. You cannot give a player like ACCM an advantage like that in the timings, because he will push you in one area. And as you try and stabilize, like we so often see, right? You try and solve the problem of ACCM pushing your castles, he's going to hit the other areas. That's precisely what he did. He won the Treb War here, and as he was doing that, he took this area from you as well. Yeah, even Cavalier coming in for ACCM, and GG's called. A bit of a disrupted cast because of the weird bug. I'm going to go message a dev right now and see if I can alert them to it so it doesn't happen again. Sorry about that one, viewers, but honestly, a good game, but not the type of game that Margougou needs to bring today to get wins against ACCM. this whole full wall into eco, into imp game, ACCM, I think, he's one of the best at that. And Margougou, being the underdog, needs to make it messy, which is why I'm excited, because I know his home map is a very messy map in Fractal. So Margougou, maybe for the neutral map, wasn't able to really find a map that'd be super messy, because the way you determine game number 1 is after a lot of bans from both players. At least for his home map pick, he has Fractal coming up next. Here's a quick look at the resources collected. It doesn't seem like there's a lot more for ACCM, but look at the crucial resources. The food and the gold and the stone, so much more. Margougou just had wood. And I think a lot of that comes back to the early Castle Age setup and the TC locations. All right, so crazy stuff here, all right? We're a minute in already, and Margougou, who's desperate for wins today, already has the villager forward. This is Fractal, his home map. So here comes the Vil. Now, the key on this map, as we have ACCM with Koreans, the key for this map above everything, in my opinion, has always been getting the villagers to the lumber camp. And that's what ACCM has done. Yeah, but he meant to... Oh, boy. He doesn't have Loom. Oh, boy, ACCM doesn't want to lose the Vil. We'll lose the villager here, guys. Oh my god, I could lose another villager. Disaster for ACCM. Disaster. Oh, Margougou traps in the other Vil. This is best case scenario, and then some for Margougou. You could tell ACCM knew this was coming. The Lithuanians are the best civilization for this because of the additional food they start with, so they can send villagers forward. But you want to have the lumber camp like this with 2 villagers there, and ACCM didn't have the positioning. This is going to be near impossible for ACCM to recover from, I feel. But we've seen some pretty crazy comebacks on this map. So, obviously, both players have an idle villager. But you can't collect resources with this villager now. This villager's just stuck. In fact, I'm a little surprised Margougou isn't just going to delete this palisade and leave. So, she can't lumber camp. And then, ACCM has done the best thing possible and is lumber camped here. But we'll have to chop through an extra layer of trees. Now, behind this, both players got their elephant right away, which is really important. So that's nice, and Margougou is going to send another villager forward. But honestly, like, with this start, I think Margougou needs to fight the part of him that is saying, let's make it messier, let's make it messier, let's make it crazier. He's got to fight that and just think, I've got my elephant. I'm going to chop through to the dock faster than him. Let's just ensure that we fish, and then we ride this one out in a normal fashion. I played Margougou in Masters of Socotra before. Granted, this was like last year or whatever. But Fractal's very Socotra-y as far as like Vil fights and whatnot. And again, sometimes as he's going to re-wall this. And ACCM knows. Look at that. ACCM could have just forgotten about that Vil. ACCM sees that Margougou sent another villager here to win the Vil war. And now ACCM wants to wall those villagers in. But yeah, anyways, Margougou was like 7 villager Vil rushing me when he already had leads. He loves to go crazy when he already has a lead. He just needs to settle down a little bit. That was interesting. The ACCM thought he could trap those 2 villagers in there. Like, in my eyes, you just palisade this and then you move along, right? You palisade and you move along. You don't necessarily need to do more than that. So, this is the first time we've ever seen Koreans picked on this map. And there were civilizations available for ACCM that I had seen in the past. Like Poles, for example. We've seen, I think Viper went Poles at one point during the group stage. So, it came as a surprise to me. He still is quite a ways away from getting that first dock up. And Margougou's going to do the right thing. And he's going to send that villager this way. And he's going to dock block. Now, actually, he's not just going to dock block. If he's looked at this lumber camp... Oh, this is so good. Yeah, you walk the entire way. It's going to take a while. And you try and wall behind this. And then you dock yourself. This is the correct play here from Margougou on his home map. Had a plan, and it has gone way better than he could have possibly planned. To kill the villager, and then also deny the lumber camp. And this villager's essentially idle has been amazing. Oh, man, this is going to be close, though, because you have to walk so far. Guys, what do you think? Does ACCM get through here or not? I'm going to go with no. But it's going to be super close, especially not if ACCM's chopping that other tree. Oh, man, ACCM needs to get through. He doesn't know Margougou is sending that Vil. That is 20 wood. But Margougou got through, and he's using it, and the villagers are bumping. Oh, this is perfect. ACCM will not get through. There's 14 wood left. Look, he even switched it there. Nope. Denied. That's so good for Margougou, who now has free control of this water area. And has just completed a fishing ship. Or produced a fishing ship. Could produce another fishing ship as well. Still, like, super housed. Like, super housed right now. Not even making a house. There's the house. You know, it's not the prettiest, but... This is interesting. ACCM through now, going to attack the palisade. So ACCM has 3 villagers attacking palisades. And actually, attacking this palisade doesn't even free your Vil. You gotta attack this palisade as well. I don't know about attacking that one. So yeah, there's no way you could do anything with this. I don't know why Margougou... Margougou's like, what are you gonna do about it? I'm gonna take this fish. Honestly, I think Margougou should dock here. Yeah, you should just dock both sides. And then in Feudal Age, you try and keep yourself from dying against any like Tower Rush or Feudal Age shenanigans. So what I've seen in the past, and honestly, it's still overall kind of rare that players get the double water position like this. But what you do in Margougou's position is you see the player's wall. They do not pressure on land. Margougou, fight it. Fight the temptation. You're going to be ahead on water. You don't need to go onto land fight. Okay, he can't help himself. But yeah, what players will do is the wall here, and they just control water and they fish boom. So it's like, you can't kill me on land. I'll have 10 fishing ships and I win the game later. That's the outlook. But he is going to he's not going to go Navy. He is going to try to wall up the stones from ACCM. And I guess he's going to try and prevent ACCM from going to stone for Tower Rush. And if Margougou loses this game, it is because he could not fight the urge to give ACCM a land fight. However, give the guy credit. He's making a fire galley here. He actually blocked. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's blocking the movement from ACCM. He's blocking the dock. Oh no, he's not. Actually, now the fishing ship is trapped. Okay, well, he just played himself. But I mean, he's making ACCM work hard and he's making a fire galley here. All very good things. ACCM's dock could still be denied. Margougou is such a nerd, dude. And now ACCM can't do much more than just try and click to finish that dock. The dock is going to go up. That's going to be the 3rd eco kill here from Margougou, who's desperate for wins. Margougou still Vil fighting. And Margougou with 4 fishing ships at home. Or I guess 1 is on the front. ACCM hasn't been mining gold. Doesn't have fishing eco. And he's bringing villagers this way. Oh my god, I know what he's going to do. I think he's going to tower this and try and wall these villagers in. It wouldn't destine all the villagers to die, but still. And I think Margougou will drop a dock here. Or here. Yeah, you just block the opponent from ever accessing your side with the Navy. You think ACCM's tilted? I mean, it can be really frustrating. Yes. I mean, this whole game has not gone according to plan. I think ACCM, he's pretty confident against Margougou. And I think he likes Margougou. Like, they're good buds. I don't think there's as much tilt involved here as maybe some other scenarios. ACCM's also a fearsome competitor, right? So getting this villager now stonewalled in, it's such a good job from Margougou, seriously. The fact that this villager still hasn't escaped is nuts. And then here, he even traps ACCM, and he's going to drop a tower here. He's going to kill another villager. Like, Margougou is massacring ACCM on every front, it feels like. And here he just relocates his lumber camp. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is ACCM's way back. ACCM walked through here. He can dock the fish area now. Oh, that is such a big aspect of this game. That gives ACCM a chance. This was supposed to be safe. He docked here in order to be safe. But ACCM's tower here, and now tower here, and now fire galleys here could give Margougou some real problems. It has given ACCM a fighting chance. Still making fire galleys here as well, of course. Still getting towered here, though, and needs to leave. And he is going to do that. Wow. Wow. Okay, ACCM quickly house walls it. ACCM, the favorite here. He's staying alive. Margougou might be kicking himself at the moment because of, you know, allowing this to happen. He isn't farming at all, right? It was just going to be a fish boom. ACCM's farming. He has finished his berries, too. So, tower war here. Fire galley war here. Koreans can't make demos, though. ACCM will actually pull the fire from Margougou close to the tower, which is helping, but it's not going to be enough to get the kill just yet. Nice job from Margougou. Here, we've got repairs from Margougou, and ACCM realizing that. He doesn't have a villager to repair. He will kill the ship from Margougou. Also included a fishing ship kill, and will actually be a villager kill if Margougou doesn't run. No demos for Koreans really hurts. Honestly, I didn't like the Koreans pick at all. You have no early bonuses that help you with the lame situation. You have no wood bonuses. Like, and now on water, you can't win the fire galley war because you can't make demos. So he really needs the tower positions to hold, I guess, until Castle Age. But Margougou is just like, screw it. I'm going to rush this down. And, oh, he's going to trap. He is going to trap, and he has more villagers here. But there's also a tower from ACCM. So... there's two towers, actually. This tower is still doing damage. I mean, it's not the prettiest of situations for Margougou. Margougou's losing a lot more than he would have expected. Still could maybe lose another, but I guess if he stops the next tower and kills his opponent's fills, he'll feel okay. I mean, that... Ugh. Nice save there, I guess. Nope, villager's dead. Listen, like... I think if, like, Margougou, had he kept it simple after getting the water down, had he just walled, this game is not really within reach for ACCM. I actually think there is a slight chance for ACCM still. He's going to pop out here with two fires. He'll get the kill. Guys, remember, Margougou is up against Dogao later on today. Both sets are played as live. It's all happening on the same day. And, like... if you're ahead in a game and like this, feel like you have the best game plan, and then you lose it in a way where you consider it a throw, it can be frustrating. And then it's not like you're going to be a favorite in the series against Dogao then either. Like, Margougou absolutely found the position where I think he could have won this game already. But ACCM just holding on, and it's so impressive from him. I mean, to still pay attention to all this is so good. Nice micro there from Margougou to save his fire ship. Margougou is still trying to save his fire ship, and might even save his fire ship as this is still happening. I don't know. Is ACCM looking at this right now? I guess he is. Fire ship was not saved. Here's a tower from ACCM. He kills a villager from Margougou. Holy crap. This is like... normally players are on their way to Castle Age by now. There's res collected. Margougou is a massive lead. But... he hasn't won. He hasn't fully taken water. ACCM's actually still here. Can't make more docks, but he is there. Should be pretty easy for Margougou to take water back, though, with a demo. Really awkward spot for him. Isn't giving up there, and isn't giving up with towers. 8 farms, 1 fishing ship, against 1 farm, 2 fishing ships for food eco. But then the market for Margougou. He's buying a lot of food. And selling his stone. He really wants Castle Age. Honestly, you're so close to Castle, I think using the market like this makes a lot of sense. If you just wait for the fishing ships and the farms now, it's going to take too long. But, like, he's not going to arrive to Castle Age with a lot of food. If anything, it'll be wood and gold. Which would probably, he would need to go for, like, some siege against the towers. What a messy game, dude. And we have a pause. I hope it's actually a pause and the game isn't end of data. Okay, it's a pause. Just joined. T90 sounds as confused as I am. Yeah, but like to sum it up, guys, ACCM's opportunity to come back in this game after all the craziness Margougou did to him was here. And I do not know if you guys have watched every single game, but essentially when players have had success like Margougou did in the water fight, basically, or like controlling the water, they would wall, right? Wall this way, which would prevent those villagers from ever getting through the area he chopped. He's still okay, right? He's still in a great position. He should still win this game, and he's desperate for wins. And he is super heavy on stone. So I think the first thing he does in the next stage is maybe Siege Workshop and then a castle drop. Margougou has had crazy quick walls this game. The start for him was so good. And I think he's bought himself enough of a position to get this win. ACCM hoping for more towers. ACCM has 800 stone in Feudal Age. Oh my god. And you're kind of torn here, but honestly, I think, especially if he sees Margougou's up, I think he needs to sell a lot of that stone just so he can buy food. Yeah. He's going to click up. Guard tower will be super strong in Castle Age, so this tower being walled in, this tower could be a game changer as well for ACCM. Like, ACCM is finding little annoying ways to stay in this if Margougou doesn't kill him. But ACCM does not see and has not denied this stone. He just didn't expect Margougou to really be here. He's going to find that in a second. Where does Margougou drop this castle? Oh, God. If he goes to go forward with it, ACCM should Vil War. ACCM's going to Vil War. Margougou has some weak Vils. Margougou now needs 3 more stone to make a castle, so he has to buy 100 more. He's going to drop the castle there. Ultimately, it's not the worst thing ever for ACCM. If this castle goes up here, look at Margougou bring more Vils. I mean, keep in mind, in these situations, the Vil Rusher, they need to kill a lot of Vils, because if the enemy castle goes up, and it always does, the castle will kill Vils as they run away. So, like, ACCM's going to kill 2. You got to get out of here. And there he goes. I like how Margougou got the War Galley upgrade. Because that will still help him fight on water. I'm not sure how good his fishing eco is going to be, though, this game. Over here's a really good push, though. He will reclaim water fully. Well, not fully, actually, because ACCM is going to dock there. If ACCM could have guard towers and turtles, it could be sick. And he makes a defensive tower on his stone, a defensive tower here. ACCM also is going to cut out, guys. Which Margougou hasn't done. What a crazy game. I think ACCM's still in this. He's walled behind here. Oh, dude, he knows the map so well. Look, he knows there's an opening back here. Dude, can you guys tell I'm excited? Oh, man. Please give me a turtle, baby. Turtle, baby. Turtle, baby. Turtle ship. Yeah, let's go. Sick. Margougou does not have a ton of food eco. He does not have the farm set up, right? There's guard towers now here, so he can't really disrupt that too much. ACCM is going to start to expand into farms and take this late game. The castle for Margougou was unable to be forward. The fishing eco was protected at one point, but is no longer. Turtle ships and guard towers, kind of the Korean dream. Dock for ACCM did not end up going up here, by the way. But, I mean, Margougou doesn't have much beyond this one dock. I don't think the fishing would be great either. Another castle for Margougou. Another castle going up here. And that will go up. Bodcanero coming in for ACCM to affect his towers. But thank God for ACCM, he has expanded elsewhere. Just, here comes the ram for Margougou to take this down. Bodcanero comes in, so the guard tower... If only Bodcan would have been in a little bit earlier, guard tower would have done more there, but... Nice castle from Margougou, so he's got double castle now. But, like, he doesn't have farms, guys. Like, he needs to farm. ACCM is starting to farm. Villager actually got converted, which is kind of funny. ACCM's really trying to hold this position so we can pop out with the Mangonel. Pathing will be weird here. It might eject over here. Yeah, it doesn't. And now the Mangonel's there, but the Siege Workshop goes down. But ACCM can wall this, which means the towers stay. Again, can Margougou settle it down? Can he macro his way to late game here? Can that be on his mind? Or will instead he just drop more castles? Right here, he's underneath stone. He's trying to go fast Imperial Age, isn't he? Which could honestly work really well. But again, food eco is going to be really poor for him. What a great game. But I have to credit ACCM's stubborn will for still being in this. A lot of people like to say ACCM doesn't resign when he's dead, and there have been some pretty bad instances in recent tournament history. But he finds a way. He has been so far behind since the start. He should be super dead. But he's like, I'm going to go here. I'm going to take the stone. I'm going to wall up this area. Double castle from Margougou. All the stone and gold in the middle. Fishing eco for Margougou. ACCM still not dead. He has to drop a guard tower here, though, so Margougou can't take this gold. I'm concerned for Margougou. I really am, because I think he's going to click Imp. He's going to have Trebs, which will obviously be great, but, like, he is not going to have food eco for anything. So it's going to be a couple monks and Trebs, basically, when he makes it to Imp. That's it. Still waiting to see if the turtle ship for ACCM would actually move out here. Like, he actually should and maybe could have done that already and would have killed all this because these fire ships are very weak. So 1 TC Imp for Margougou. He's got 9 on food, 7 of which are going to be fishing ships, and he's going to just make monks and Trebs. There goes the walls for ACCM. And he's farming away. 3 TCs producing villagers now. There is a dock here for ACCM. He might be worried that there's fishing eco over here from Margougou, and there is fishing eco over here from Margougou. Here come the turtle boys! Turtle boys, let's go! Everyone loves a good turtle ship raid, right? If you don't, you're not allowed to be here anymore. Okay, those are the rules. And bye-bye food eco. Bam! Look at them go. Sure, their oars don't move in the water because they're Roman or lazy. I don't think they're called a Roman. There's a Roman DLC now, so I need to find another word. But man, are they pretty. Unfortunately, they fire quite slow, and they are also quite expensive, which is the issue for ACCM. But goodbye fishing ships there. Here, I don't think turtle ship's realistic against 4 fires. I think 4 fires should be fine. All right, so Margougou is going to be up to Imp. What? The Mangonel actually did a lot of damage over here? Redemption was researched? I was too busy looking at the turtle ships. I didn't realize there were 18 villagers just huddled there together. Guys, this is what I mean. Look at the resources for Margougou. Like, these Trebs better Treb down quickly. ACCM can still escape. He will lose this TC. Oh, but he ain't finished, guys. He's going to stonewall this because he probably realizes my opponent's eco can't be that good. He actually sees all of it. And he's actually starting to chop here. So maybe eventually he'll chop through and find Margougou here. Margougou just was able to get 1 villager here because that was the dock villager that ran around. Ram's going to get taken out. Treb obviously will take out the TC. We have a stable for ACCM, who is forever Castle Age. And, like, he really can't do anything about anything that's underneath the castle, which sucks. Right? So the Treb's going to take out houses, towers, everything. It's going to be so tough. But I still think it's doable because I've seen at least people drag it out to Imp. Still, Res Collect has been higher for Margougou. I just wish in these moments, and I fully understand what it is, right? Because I've been there as the underdog in sets, and you just think push, push, push. But, like, your trebuchets, your forward position is going to accomplish so much if you're Margougou. The only way you lose this game is if you neglect your economy in full. So I think like the second TC, a couple more farms, those types of things would be really nice. Like ACCM still creeping in with these freaking towers. Over here, monks from Margougou that now have 12 range are converting villagers. Maybe that's his way of getting a better economy. Little surprised ACCM didn't make a gate, so I guess these villagers are just going to run for it at some point. There's also no gate here. Margougou slowly trebbing down these towers. And there is now a siege workshop from ACCM, as he really just wants to have any disturbance he can. Turtle ship could actually be converted here shortly, which is kind of interesting. How do you stop the Trebs and the monks, though, if you're ACCM? It feels like too much of his eco is accessible. This is accessible. That's 11 villagers. This is accessible, but he's adding more stone walls. He will also have light cav eventually. That villager didn't get converted by the monk. The monk died to the tower. That siege workshop will potentially complete. Margougou still chopping through. ACCM's villagers are very angry at the two villagers that were their friends on the farm and have abandoned them. All right. Here, farming eco's looking very good. Very healthy. Light cav are still being masked. ACCM's going to make a run for it with these vills and just re-wall it. Villager got converted, which means this ram could take out a little bit more in the way of towers. Turtle ship still not converted. Margougou sees this TC and is going to treb it. So ACCM says, fine, I'll just mine the stone. And ACCM is chopping through with intention. I think that he set these two vills on those trees. Let's watch when he finishes this tree. Guarantee you it goes to this tree. He's definitely going for it. What does Margougou see? He just sees stone walls. And he sees random towers. And turtle ship. Okay, converts those vills. He's making a gate as part of the opponent's walls. This is the same guy who won't get horse collar and seed a freaking farm. Like, he might need a backup plan. That's a lot of light cap from ACCM. And ACCM is... Well, he's not going for the tree I thought about, but he is definitely thinking about this. Turtle ship got converted. No! That was your best power. Margougou's still trying to convert the siege workshop. That's going to be underneath the tower. But I guess the tower's not... No, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, Margougou? Margougou! Okay, another monk goes down to a tower. Light cav show up and are going to kill all the monks, and ACCM's got a big chance. He swooped in. He swooped in. Margougou didn't expect this, and I guarantee you the panic is there now. The population for ACCM is 91. He has taken out so many gold units there from Margougou. So worth it. It just costs food for him. Now here, I guess villagers were converted. The traders are gonna die. ACCM will re-wall this. He didn't actually chop through there. Here, Margougou has villagers being attacked. He has converted a lot of vills. Mangonel's still up over here. Guard tower's still up. Margougou's still focused on that. And a couple monks have just kind of been forgotten about. Light cav actually got converted, but the monk goes down. Margougou with 10 more monks in queue when his opponent's gone light cav. But he does also have Latus, and he also has 2 relics, and Latus are really good. And still eco count's even. Like, his vill count's not that bad. I mean, his vill count's fantastic. And actually, he goes through the gate that he made. The Latus go into the wood line. And I think Margougou will love this. He will also love this. He's through on both sides, guys. I thought ACCM maybe had an opportunity when he killed that many monks. But Margougou's had enough. He's had the eco lead this whole game. It's not just the monks. The Latus, too, from those castles. And if this TC gets trapped down, there's then no protection from the Latus. And then over here, Margougou could take out the towers and kill all these villagers as well. ACCM has been annoying. ACCM has been stubborn and stayed alive in this game. But Margougou looking for that win that he so badly needs, because the start was so nice here on his home map Fractal. Very well played. This gate is just cracking me up. This gate is hilarious to me. Yeah, Pikes from ACCM, which should be good against Cav, right? The light Cav against the monks, Pikes against the Cav. That kind of makes sense. Margougou has 19 monks in queue. Hardy, can we please get an edit of Margougou's tweet about monks from a couple weeks ago? He just went off on Twitter about monks. But something tells me this is a little excessive. Like, you've got quite a few monks in queue here, my dude. 9 monks with 13 more in queue. And I mean, he can just convert the Pikes, right? I think population is... It's not worse than it was before for ACCM. Like, he's still pushing here and killing stuff. Like, Margougou is definitely struggling with certain aspects of this. So, you know, maybe there's still a chance for ACCM. But I feel like now that Margougou is actually making army beyond just monks and his eco is looking a bit better, he should be favored to just push in here and kill all of this. Like, there's just a point where the latest number gets too high, or like Margougou walks forward and builds a castle here, thus trebs everything down. Like, it feels like it's just moments away. Dang. But, you know, some upgrades have been missing, right? Like, bloodlines and some armor and attack could help the latest. They are unupgraded latest, except for the 2 relics. ACCM just strolling into Margougou's eco with mangonels right now. Look at this. It's so funny. A little distracted, clearly. Maybe distracted against this as he goes in with the light cap, but he just doesn't have the numbers of light cap. That's too many monks. These are monks with imp upgrades versus castle age units, right? I think ACCM, he doesn't want to admit that he's been bested here, but he's fought on thus far. He will fight on further because he's still not seeing a tremendous eco from Margougou over here. Like, sure, Margougou could absolutely expand his eco back here, but why do that when you can just push all the time and kill all the time and drop another castle and just put ACCM out of his misery here? From the very start, Margougou had a massive lead in this game. We have never seen Koreans picked on this map. I think ACCM played them pretty well. Turtle ships and towers not only were made in this game, but it actually made sense in the situations we saw it. It's not like he forced it. But the water position is so crucial. It was water and land. Like, Margougou took the water on both sides and then also took the middle. Only real advantage for ACCM was that he ended up killing fish from Margougou because he snuck back on the water. But that should have realistically, I think, never happened. So if Margougou does make it to playoffs, I think he'll learn from this. ACCM's pop hasn't gone down from where it was before, but Margougou's has gone up. Margougou has 170 pop. 31 monks. Like, how many conversions does he have? It's probably a decent amount, right? Conversions? 38. Okay, so on average, a conversion per monk. Pretty expensive. ACCM still like, I got room to go. I got room to grow my eco. Let's go. No bloodlines on the latest. No armor on the latest. No attack on the latest. Just monks. And latest. As he goes in here. And Margougou is just... I guess he's going to have an Omega healing army. They are waving and opening and clapping these books shut all over ACCM's face. ACCM, I get the fighting spirit, my friend. This is not getting much better for you, as he will drop more towers in defense. Perhaps thinking that Margougou will run out of gold, but Margougou will not. Margougou will still have gold back here. He had all the gold in the middle. ACCM still trying his hardest here. ACCM is the biggest fighter. Like, if we were to have a playoff, if ACCM and Yo somehow meet in the playoffs, that best of 5 will be an 11-hour best of 5. Because every time one of them is about to beat the other guy is going to play on for a solid 3 hours past the point of death. Because they always believe. And they always fight. And it does definitely, with how good they are and how many comeback wins they've had in their career, it obviously makes some sort of sense. But I am not quite sure, as a caster, what positive I can really give you for ACCM right now, beyond the fact that Margougou is not researching upgrades he could. Right? Like, the latest, he's an imp. The latest should get more upgrades. Like, there's the attack upgrade, there's the armor upgrade. ACCM is nowhere to go. Like, he can't be here either. 185 pop for Margougou. Okay, come on, ACCM. If your bills are doing this, bro. If your bills are doing this, surely, maybe it's time to tap out. And he calls the GG. Finally, Margougou is able to get him to tap. Margougou made 68 monks. Would have been 70 if that game continued for another 10 minutes. Researched horse collar within the last, 5 minutes. But listen, at the start, guys, Margougou knew, this map is so important to control the water. And he controlled that water. And then he YOLO'd the market, honestly. It was just, tons of ills on gold the whole game, buying resources. And look at the difference in gold collected. Holy crap. 15k gold collected. Maybe consider Bohemians next time, Margougou, so you can have the gold mining upgrades for free. That was insane clownery from him. But, the double castle stack on the front and the fast imp, even while when he went imp, his food eco kind of struggled, it did enough. He didn't really need that much food eco for what he made for a while there. Trebs and monks. ACCM should have been dead in feudal. He should have never, ever, ever had this opportunity to come back. The towers and the docks here happened because I think Margougou just forgot about that possibility. It was creative from ACCM to hold on, but ultimately, we've seen it before on this map. You got to have the water, and even just trying to claw back, it felt awkward with the Koreans not being able to make demos. So I looked at the Koreans pick, and I was surprised by it when ACCM did it on the draft. I wasn't that impressed. Ultimately, the early lumber camp shenanigans was so important. Well played, Margougou. Stubborn with his Vil micro, stubborn with the quick walls and the traps. And Margougou gets a very important victory. Live standings now, Margougou at 5 wins. And remember, Margougou's got 1 more game in this series, and then he's got 3 more games against Dogao. Margougou is still kind of competing with Draken, who will also play Dogao today. So, nothing's guaranteed for Margougou as far as staying up. That win was massive for him. All right, so game 3, and God, I love migration. I know some people are like, man, we see it a lot. It's kind of getting old. I love it. And I love it because we know what they're going to try and do, right? The idea is lots of water control, lots of fishing ships, the transporting. Maybe they fight for scouts and with spears in the center. But doing it is so hard, and there's so many different things that can happen. We've seen games where players are behind on water, and then boom, 1 or 2 demos, suddenly things are even on water. There's just so many aspects of migration. And to repeat words Daniel spoke to me, and I've quoted 3 or 4 times ever since, he said he thinks this is the highest skill map in the entire tournament. And I actually agree. There's so many tiny little skill elements. The build themselves should eventually, once we're getting to the top names, be very similar each time. But the execution of, positioning, microing land, water, balancing, fishing numbers, TCs, monks, spear. I mean, it's just so tough. Holy birds. These birds are at a rave right now. You guys could just stare at this, enjoy this. Hey, wait, that means something important's going to happen here. Oh, man. Oh, this is where it's all going to go down. This is where Margougou's going to land, guys. The birds are trying to tell us something. I have no clue what causes this. And I have no clue if they're ever going to leave this area. But it would be kind of funny if Margougou showed up and saw this. You know what I miss, though, guys? So there used to be a bug where a bird would just get stuck in the corner and he'd be trying to fly off the map, but he'd just be stuck. And it would happen very rarely. It happens maybe, I want to say once every 300 games. And it was always the thing for people who'd been around for a long time. They'd be like, the bird! The bird had blessed the game. If we saw the bird, we knew the game would be good. And they actually fixed that bug. They quote-unquote fixed it. Which to me is the equivalent of fixing the moonwalking bug. They should never remove that from the game. So, I've always been, I've been up many nights in tears remembering the bird, and I don't think it will ever come back. But for those that were there when it happened, I guess consider yourself privileged. We'll just have to deal with the raving birds instead. But it's funny, like, the birds clearly got stuck there, right? I'm not seeing birds elsewhere. Look, like, there's no other birds. Those are all the birds on the map. Yeah, all the birds are right here. And again, that's a pretty realistic spot for someone to end up with the transporting. You know, when the players transport here, considering the hills, the wood lines, the stone and gold, it's going to be really awkward for TC spots. Like, Margougou won't know this, but if Margougou went here, it'd be ideal. Like, nice little wood line, gold area. ACCM here or here is really nice, but I guess it depends what direction they're going to go. But I think it makes... Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. What is this build? Excuse me? Oh my god. Okay, we were talking about birds, and I didn't realize Margougou was going fast feudal. Margougou trying to break the meta. I've talked about how galley play is poor because the timing is not critical enough. Look at this uptime. Holy crap, he's up quick. Actually, having said that, ACCM's build order with the fishing ships, not good. I don't know why we don't have another fishing ship on the way. I don't know why we don't have another fishing ship on the way. What is this? Guys, what is this? What's the wood count for ACCM? What? These docks should be at 100% all-time production. That's 67%. This one's 50. Can someone do me a quick favor? Pull up Liquipedia and tell me if ACCM has played Migration yet this season. I'm trying to remember now. I actually think this might be the first time ACCM's played Migra. And, of course, I have these lofty expectations, as people pointed out in some of the YouTube comments. The T90 is just coming off as critical, which I agree. Sometimes I'm a little extreme. But, like, listen, these are tip-top competitors, right? And I'm like, we expect the very best, nothing but the best, even if it's group stage. Ha! ACCM first place in the group. We expect something better. Ha! But, I mean, combining the fact he's only on 7 fish with the... fast uptime from Margougou, I think Margougou's galley play has some real potential here. So he ACCM beat Miguel on Migration. Okay, got it. And then he also played Dogal. Okay. And I think Dogal beat him 2-1 in that series. Did Dogal win on Migra? Well, I haven't been... I don't feel like he's gotten the most out of this build, and I think his castle time will struggle a little bit. Combining that with losing fishing ships could be really awkward for him. This could be great for Margougou. He beat Dogal and Miguel on it. Okay. And what makes sense is his home map then. Okay, so it's just some things looked a little off with what I saw here then. That's all. So he's been a god. Got it. Well, he's going to get the wood, right? So he's going to get the plus 200 wood, and he's going to try and make the stable in the middle. I don't actually think he'll have the food for the next age, though. And Margougou is gone galleys into adding fishing ships and is going to kill so many fishing ships. Basically, what Margougou has done here is instead of adding the fish and adding the navy later, he goes fast feudal with low fishing numbers, kill fishing ships, and then add the fishing ships behind. And I think this is going to be awkward. I think we will see ACCM have to sell his stone and buy food here. Really nice finds from Margougou. I liked how ACCM ran away with these 2 fish. Also like how Margougou just moved along. Okay. So, we'll see if the uptime will be achievable still for ACCM. Who goes for the stable here. The birds are gone, guys. ACCM has spooked the birds. More galleys find the fishing ship kills. Margougou, he not only wants to survive... He wants playoffs. He has another series later. He's killed 6 fishing ships. This is really well done from him. And the fishing ships can't drop off food right now for ACCM. Does sell some of his stone, but he also goes for a forward dock. And if he's in Castle Age with fires going into Margougou's fish eco, Margougou could lose all of his fishing ships as well. And really... fishing ship kills aside, because Margougou's had a lot of success with this, the downside has always been with the galley play, you're so much later to castle. But the idea is pretty sound. Like, he's killed all the fish. And he's thinking, I now can freely fish and my opponent cannot. Margougou with the market, sells some of his stone, might want to buy some food here, really wants to click up, really will want navy numbers beyond just the galleys. Didn't actually make any fires. And he clicks up now. Does not know about this forward dock. ACCM doesn't have the food eco to make more scouts. Like, the whole farming thing, none of this is really part of the plan. Believe me, he doesn't want to eject his fishing ship yet because he knows there's still galleys from Margougou hiding. Margougou just hiding on the shoreline there. I think if you're playing like this in Margougou's shoes, you just have to be really cautious with how you transport and then just go full water. But, like, if this would have gone perfectly for ACCM, he would have still have fishing ships remaining without having to add more. And he would have then had the food to have, like, 4 or 5 scouts on the field. I think it is possibly... It is more possible for Margougou to just freely transport to the middle without any land army now, after how much success he just had. That's really nice. Let's check res collected. Wild to me, Margougou doesn't have more res collected, but that would grow, of course, if he can keep his units alive. He is ahead in every aspect, though. Couple fires on the way, combined with galleys. Margougou blocking on the front. What a play. What a play. Beautiful micro from Margougou here. Really has shown his skill. 10-0 KD for Margougou, who lost the first game. It was a little shaky. And what we said was, he can't play the same type of game against ACCM where it's just feudal, the castle, the boom to imp. That was his problem in game 1. Game 2, it was in Dark Age, he's applying pressure. Game 3 is in Feudal Age, he's applied pressure. Well, this is going to be an awkward spot to arrive to. He doesn't want to show this. He's scared now. He does have Loom. Here the fishing ships start to now go down for Margougou because of that forward dock from ACCM. Now over here, ACCM still doesn't have a lot of fish. He'll lose one of his own. He does have villagers here building the TC. ACCM scouts are on the way. The villagers might not have a transport ship to hop back into here. So the spearmen need to come out for Margougou. There's some concerns for Margougou right now. ACCM's faster cast lane just paid off so much. The scouts are here. Margougou's got to save some units here if he can. And he's going to fight it off. So there's going to be 6 fire ships for ACCM in a moment. What a great recovery from ACCM. Oh, man. I love how he adapted into a lot more on berries and farms here when he lost his fish. I loved how active he was on land. But, you know, also Margougou's likely going to get this TC up. So that's a positive for him. Not to mention, still does have fishing eco. He doesn't have the farming eco. He doesn't even have berries, so it's just the fish, and they're vulnerable, but still. Nice job here from both players. It's been a really nice migration game. And like I said in Dark Age, this one's actually been a bit more different than I was expecting, but the thinking of land control versus water control is always there. We've just seen so many different tweaks and approaches from some of the other games. That's why this map is so fun. I think where this map becomes less fun for people is there's a lot of people out there, and it's understandable, that like to see different types of units, right? Like, give me a Jaguar Warrior every once in a while. Give me a Shravamsha Rider, and, you know, I don't want to see ships and monks and villagers and spears and knights. I want uniqueness, T90. But I hope you guys appreciate the uniqueness in the play. That is the beauty of Age of Empires 2. It's not necessarily the unique units, which obviously can be exciting too. It's the possibilities. Thousands and thousands of possibilities, and then when you mix in the unique maps too, it's just so fun. There goes relic number 3 for ACCM, and you know, I think I would prefer ACCM's position because of how he's diversified a bit economically, but he is well behind on water and could lose full water control. Like here, Margougou trying to put a stop to this forward dock. and will take out the forward dock. Also goes to run in here to kill the monk from ACCM, and ACCM actually converts the scout. Wow. Shifted the conversion, so he had started the conversion on a ship, saw the scout, converts the scout almost immediately there. Really smart thinking. I mean, Margougou's additional navy is here, right? Like, it is fully invested into dealing with this dock. I mean, he wouldn't really gain much from being on the other side, in all honesty, but I think that would be positive for me if I was ACCM, is that like you don't really have these docks getting disrupted. You don't have any pressure on your side. Here he actually had some fire ships looping in. But he might be able to find fishing ships. I actually think the best play in this case, as, oh, we got Lightcap diving in for a monk, and boink. Nice kill there, ACCM. But yeah, I think you should be sacrificing your fires for fishing ship kills. I don't think you should actually necessarily try and catch up in the fire ship number. My guess is ACCM is just more focused on the other things. He's not intentionally just taking fights against fires. It's probably just patrols. Besides player bans, TTL should have 1 civ ban per player to spice it up. Well, there's 2 civ bans per player. So if you want spice because of bans, the potential is there. There's 4 bans before each player starts picking civs. But players don't want to ban good civilizations because they want good civilizations available. And in some cases, players might think like Italians are just on par with Dravidians. I mean, I pick a ban. Well, I would probably also ban, I mean, you're going to hate me for this, but I would probably ban like Sicilians. Like, I want to see the best civilizations played with the best players because the best civilizations have so many different possibilities and fun ways to play the game. The playoffs have 3 bans per player, and then they both have to pick 6 on each side. So there will be more civilization seen there. I think it's been a 3-month process, right, with TTL, so it makes sense that players would get into a rhythm. I think that rhythm's good before the playoffs. And the rhythm for Margougou is the rhythm of the Wololo. He researched Atonement, and he has stolen the monks from ACCM. Whoa. And the pike upgrade being here against the Lightcav is also quite nice. Lightcav can't move. Well, we saw Margougou make, what, like 68 monks in the previous game? He's going to try and make just as many here, apparently. But still, ACCM's done an all right job. And I think the core of the issue for Margougou is still going to be the fact that he doesn't have a lot of land control. So he, quote-unquote, won on water, but it's TC here and TC here for ACCM. So ACCM's got more vills there. Now, how do you deal with this push, though, if you're Dravidians? I don't know if Dravidians get Atonement. Oh, they do. He already has it. Okay. Well, don't kill that, because it's going to be yours. Yeah. He converts 1 monk. He kills another monk. He kills another monk. He kills another monk. Oh, my God. The Lightcav have paid for itself. Oh, the Lightcav have just been incredible here. And ACCM essentially is in buy time mode, right? Like, hold this position for as long as possible as you're expanding your eco elsewhere, in theory. But it's not that easy because you also have to, like, you know, send these vills to work and balance that out. He's got lots of wood he's not spending. Like, pikemen don't really kill monks that quickly, as we're seeing here. Siege comes out. No redemption's been researched for Margougou. Italians do get that. But that is a lot of gold, and obviously he's going to do it. Redemption's now on the way. His own siege is exposed right now. Might be okay, though, because he might convert the Lightcav. ACCM wants to hit the siege. ACCM is going to lose his Lightcav, and now he doesn't have anything to protect his monks, and Margougou can go kill the monks, but there needs to be a quick wall from ACCM to protect the monks, and there's not a quick wall, and now a Lightcav is back on the other side, and all the monks are going down, and there's a castle going up. What in the world? Margougou's such a fighter here, guys. It's 73 villagers versus 72. So close. Look at the idle TC time for Margougou. He might be down the town center, but both of his TCs have been producing like mad. This castle, though, is on the way up. I'm still concerned for Margougou. It's like such a tiny little squished piece of land. And he can... Oh, big moment here. The mango will definitely pop out. 100% pop out. 100%. 116 billion%. Because that's a thing. Okay, it popped out after it got converted. And actually, it was perfect timing. And, well, I mean, the mangonel could be converted ACCM, so maybe you delete this. Okay, he loses it. And Margougou's imping. Use the market a lot. But cheaper Imperial Age for the Italians. He still has the cheaper dock text to work with. He will have a castle up against another castle, so we can make trebs. This is huge, guys. If you wanted drama at the conclusion of this group, in Group B, you will have wanted Margougou to get like a 2-1 victory today against ACCM. Before he plays Dogao later. If you're Draken, this is the last thing you want. Because Draken needs to somehow compete with Margougou. This would be really bad for Draken's chances. But what a sick job from Margougou. Who has very little space to move around. But he will be on Trebuchet so quickly here. And ACCM still hasn't clicked up to Imp. So when you think of the Italians, you think cheaper up times, which we've seen utilized every age. Margougou went super fast feudal because of that. Then the cheaper dock techs and fishing ships, which he obviously utilized. Now he's losing some fishing ships. Flexible unit options. You don't normally think of Italian pikemen, but he's had that option at least. There goes ACCM to the next stage. Margougou with another castle because he knows this is his Red War now. What will ACCM do? I mean, ACCM can't really repair this castle. The positive for him is that there's this castle. The negative is he's gone Imp here. This, in my opinion, is the TC you have to go Imperial Age with. Because, I mean, this is... I mean, if you're going to choose one, you want to go this one. So I imagine he just clicked it without thinking about it, which is... You can't break it down mentally like a caster can in the moment. Oh, by the way, story time, because I thought this is pretty funny. So I had a game on Frigid Lake. If you don't know Frigid Lake, it's similar to El Dorado, where there's the marsh water area around the starting TCs. I had a game on Frigid Lake where I was winning, but my main TC was being attacked by 4 mangonels. And I was going to lose my Imp TC, so I had to dock there, and I made demos to take out the mangonels. It was like one of my proudest, one of my recent proud moments as a player was saving my Imp TC with demos. I'd never saved my Imp TC with demos before. You guys would appreciate that. It was an Empire Wars game against Song Song, if you know him. So, my concern with Margougou is similar to what we saw in the previous game, where it's like, will he tech switch beyond his, like, into something that's not monks? And he's not queuing more monks, so I think the answer's clear, he will. ACCM's got ranges ready, and he's thinking about, like, maybe skirms and crossbow. I think both players should be going chemistry, if at all possible. And that would be for... unlocking the opportunity to go bombard cannons. I actually would love, guys, to see Margougou transport units here. Because now you have water superiority with the fast fire ships, and your opponent is playing defensive on land. The play is definitely to transport here with condos. Even, what might even be better, is villagers to build the barracks there, because then you don't have to transport them back and forth. Oh god, the trebs for ACCM. This castle is so awkward. Oh, man, you can't lose that treb. What's happening? Does neither player notice this? Huh? They see me rolling. They hate it. What? Okay, well, I guess both players didn't notice, and the pathing was weird for ACCM. The condos are going to notice, though. Pretty big deal if ACCM can save that. No! Oh, there's another one. Margougou needs to get this one now. What's happening? These castles are trash. Throw them in the garbage. No way, dude. No way. That's huge. Because now he has 4 trebs. And he can make bombard cannons because Margougou didn't get chemistry. I mean, Margougou loses a castle as well here. That is so important there. Look at all the trebs that ACCM has now. Okay, transport ship with villagers from Margougou. He's going to the starting island from ACCM. ACCM cannot defend from any army here. But ACCM's obviously pushing middle, where he's got crossbows right now and trebs. Oh, man, this is critical timing. There's going to be a castle there from Margougou. You can maybe try and tower it if you're ACCM, but I think condos could come over as well. Margougou's going to lose his castle. He will be pop-locked here. He is pop-locked. He could start to lose his trebs, too, with no bombard cannons. Margougou, he's focusing on the island, which is going to be epic, but he's losing the mainland, which is not. And there's crossbows here that he doesn't have an answer to. Margougou. What a hold from ACCM. Such great eco expansion here. It finally kicked in. It finally paid off. But ACCM's also going to lose like 50 villagers here. He's got 63 of his eco here. Meaning that he needs to push here more than ever now. He needs to micro these crossbows effectively too. People like condos for the timing. ACCM's distracted the Mangonel with a hit. And ACCM will drop a castle here. He has to. It honestly might be to his detriment. I actually think it would be better to drop the castle here. But ACCM respects the people in his economy, and he does not want these people to die. But obviously, castle fire helps against the condos, and then trebs there as well could be important. Man, Margougou just couldn't really get a strong army other than, you know, trebs and monks. I mean, the condos are just still missing some upgrades. No Pavise. And no imp armor here. He's using his trebs now, Margougou, against the Arbs. Would love to see a couple Yarumi swordsmen from the castle from ACCM, but he's got to back away. He's scared of the condos. The condos close in. The condos are around the Arbs. There's no castle fire here for ACCM. The condos will kill the cannons too. Here, you've got a treb and you've got condos. The game is so close right now. Could still go either way. And you can see ACCM panicking, right? Castle down, treb down here. Bombard cannons down. And then also this treb is exposed. What in God's name is this eco, dude? Oh my goodness. I think it's going to be easier, though, for ACCM to make military. Because there's only 3 barracks here for Margougou, or 4. I don't know if Margougou is going to have the golden come. ACCM has all 5 relics. ACCM behind this has a castle. He's got his ranges always producing. But ACCM could lose all these vills soon. What in the world? ACCM moves in, sees the monks, snipe the monks. Oh no, Margougou. He was an imp so much faster. To me, it felt like he missed bombard cannon here. Bombard cannon would be so helpful against the Arbalest. Kind of like the trebs are, but better. And he also was in the Imperial Age faster, right? With cheaper university tech. So I think maybe that was the window that Margougou missed. And ACCM with more villagers than Margougou. A lot of those vills could be exposed here. And he just says, screw it. What is the quality of life here anyways for my villagers? Not good. No ballistics for my opponent either. Don't tell me these villagers are going to take out the treb. The villagers from Margougou are coming over to repair the treb. We'll see if they get there. Meanwhile, the Arbalest micro is happening. And the Arbalest micro is pretty good for ACCM. Treb goes down. Treb actually goes down to villagers. Worth it. Micro for ACCM continues. Only 1 treb in defense for Margougou. Only 5 condos on the field for Margougou. And ACCM wins the game. That makes things a little bit more exciting, of course, for Draken, who we'll see later. Draken's still trying to compete for Margougou. That will make things more desperate for Margougou when he plays Dogao later today. And that then ends ACCM in a pretty good position in this group with his 2-1 victory. I think that will put him at 11 wins. We'll look at the odds here in just a second. But wow, what a close game. Look at the res collected here. So even. Like, so close. I really do think, and I said it before, like, this is what Margougou thought. Ready? This is what Margougou thought. Because people are going to say Castle on Island was a throw. I want to explain the thinking, because I think the thinking was actually correct from Margougou. Margougou thought, I've taken out 2 castles. I've got momentum on land. How can I get further ahead? I'm already ahead here. So what I'll do now is I'll take his island. And obviously there was damage there to be done, right? The problem was he didn't make bombard cannons. And those 2 trebs that ACCM somehow squeaked around those wood lines were never killed. It was the trebs that saved ACCM. And Margougou just felt like he was fine. And so he shifted on his focus elsewhere. So could be an example of trying to do too much. I think, unfortunately, Margougou's just going to look at this and he's going to say, man, why did I not get chemistry? Because he got it, but he just got it so much later. Not to mention, he also, was constricted more on this area. So, like, maybe this was less important than pushing this. But again, in his mind, it was probably both. That's your thinking as a player there. I've taken out 2 castles there. Where else can I hit? It's kind of how your mind goes. What a great job from ACCM, though, because I was worried for him for a while. Another game, though, where we see players going condos and dying to Arbalest. Condos are not a Huskarl. They're not a 10 pure summer unit. They've got a window because they produce quickly and they have decent stats for early Imperial Age. But if you don't use them in early Imperial Age, it does feel like it's not quite the unit choice you want here as the Italians. Great series. Some things that could have gone differently for both to maybe change the course of some of those games. I feel as though if Margougou is playing like this, he can get wins off of Dogao as well, so he should be okay. But let's quickly just look and see what the stats say. Makes it a lot easier now as well with probabilities because there's only going to be 2 sets left. So ACCM wins 2-1. The order does not matter, of course. Okay, so he ends 11-4. If Dogao 3-0s Margougou and then also 3-0s Draken, Dogao can take first place. If Dogao only gets 5 out of 6 wins, though, he will be second. He could also get 4. Wait. Actually, Dogao can get 3 out of 6 wins and get second. Because he can tie Veleza. And there's no way. So the first tiebreak is sets 1. So he could be 3-2, meaning he loses one of the sets and then wins one of the sets, which I think is realistic and only gets 3 wins. And yeah, he wins the head-to-head tiebreak against Veleza. So actually right now, it seems highly unlikely Dogao will get first, but it's doable. Very likely he gets second. Very likely Veleza gets third. It is also possible Dogao gets relegated, of course, if he doesn't win at all. Margougou has 3 more potential wins. Again, that will be against Dogao. And then Draken will also be against Dogao in that final series. So now, again, what makes it interesting, guys? Oh, God, this is so sick, actually. Okay, think about it. So Margougou and Draken are both 1-3 in sets. So let's say Margougou loses 1 game against, let's say he loses 2-1 to Dogao. So he then goes up to 6 wins. If Draken wins 2-1 versus Dogao and they're tied, Draken has more set wins, not to mention the head-to-head, which wouldn't matter there, and Draken would survive. So it is well within possibilities that Draken survives and Margougou does not here. And yeah, there is a possibility where both Draken and Margougou survive and Dogao doesn't if they smash Dogao. They both would have the smash Dogao. So yeah. Kind of interesting. We'll see how it goes. I think with Dogao being the favorite, the expectation is still that Dogao gets enough wins to end up falling into the second place, but Margougou's playing well. Draken's going to be motivated, so could be some crazy things happening in the final 2 sets of this group.